Hello, spooky friends. I'm Alexis, this is Poe, and welcome to our second Summerween vlog. If you have no idea what I'm talking about or what Summerween is, I will have Gabby's video linked below, and I will also have part 1 of this vlog linked below, so you can see what I did on days 1 through 4. Other than that, I already introed this thing in part 1, so we can get right into day 5 of Summerween. Why, hello. Funny seeing you here. I know we didn't talk at all yesterday, but I am here and I have some updates to share. I'm also in classic Alexis fashion on a time crunch. I have a meeting starting in 9 minutes and I just made lunch. So I don't know why I think it's going to be possible to do all that before my meeting starts. But here we are. So first, if you're curious, I made a delicious vegan BLT wrap for lunch. I've been obsessed with these lately. It's just the Morningstar bacon, some lettuce I grew in my garden, some tomatoes that I got from the store because my tomatoes are not ready yet, vegan mayonnaise, and a protein tortilla wrap, and they are so good and filling. But you're probably not here for my food update. You're probably here for a reading update. 2 things. You saw me start both of these yesterday. I should probably hold up the dust jackets because you don't care about the naked hardbacks. Oh, these color schemes look good together. Cute. Okay, so first off, the one I am farthest in. The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I got to the 25% mark, and I am absolutely loving my reread. I'm having the time of my life. I am listening to the audiobook, which has been very good. I was interested to do the audiobook this year because, 1, it's the prompt I'm using for Summerween, a spooky audiobook, and 2, it is narrated by Adrienne King, who is one of the original Final Girls. She was Nancy? Am I making that up? Alice. Her name was Alice, right? Nancy was Nightmare on Elm Street. Anyways, the final girl from the Friday the 13th films narrates this. And she's good, but just know going in, if that's the route you're going to take, that it's an actress narrating an audiobook, not an audiobook narrator. So it's a little bit different. It's still enjoyable. It's just it's just different. So I have been tabbing this time around. Oh, I can barely see my tabs, but I'm using this really fun color scheme. It just gave me fun, like 80s summer vibes. So to show you how I'm tabbing this, I am gonna cover up what the yellow tabs mean because it's kind of a spoiler. But rereading this now that I like know the ending, I'm looking for like hints throughout. So that's what I'm using the yellow one for. The other ones I can share with you. So we have purple for like funny moments that are making me laugh out loud, the turquoise for movie references, pink for favorite quotes, and then orange for kills. So these are just all good things that I think would be fun to discuss with my book club that I'm reading this for. This is just so fun. As a horror movie lover, it's giving me everything I want. So this one, if you didn't know, is sort of Grady Hendrix's love letter to 80s slasher movies and final girls. It takes place in 2010. I think that's the year he wrote it. So in it, we are following these older women who are all final girls, and they are in a therapy support group. They're all final girls we know and love from classic movies. We have Adrian is from Friday the 13th, Julia is Scream, Marilyn is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Heather is Nightmare on Elm Street, Danny is Halloween, and then Lynette is something. It's like Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's the only one I haven't seen. But he's taking these inspirations from these final girls from pop culture and asking the question, like, what would happen after the movie? What about when they go to therapy and they're trying to get their lives back together? So that's super fun. And then in this, there is actually somebody coming back now to target the girls. So once again, they are fighting for their lives, and we're following the main character, Lynette, as she is just so paranoid in the beginning of this. It's a lot like one of the newer Halloween movies where Jamie Lee Curtis was like older and she had like all the extra security and stuff built into her house. Like that's how Lynette is living. She has like this super elaborate way that she goes home. Like if she has to leave her apartment, she doesn't go from point A to point B. She like takes like this whole roundabout route to make sure nobody's following her. Like nobody knows her address. Like she is doing absolutely everything to protect herself from ever being a victim to a killer like this again. And despite all of her efforts, something happens in this book and she is being hunted again. And it's a really fun time. Like when I tell you there are laugh out loud moments in this book, Grady Hendrix is just so funny, so great. I always love his books, and yeah, just happy to be rereading like a comfort book for me. I love reading new books and discovering new favorites, but like this is really fun. I think it could definitely be an idea that every Summerween I reread a favorite, because I do have so many favorite horror books that like I love being back with these characters. So I'll definitely talk to you more about this later once I get farther in. And I will also talk to you more about Overgrowth later. I'm only about 20-ish pages into this. I started it last night, but I need to get to my meeting now. So we'll talk when I'm done with work. So I just finished part 1 of Overgrowth, made it to part 2 called Root. The first part was called Seed. This has a lot more plant imagery in it than I was expecting. Okay, hopefully you can hear me better now that I turned off my fan. So, a lot more plant imagery than I was expecting, which is dumb on my part because it's literally called Overgrowth. So, in the beginning of this, these aliens drop these seeds down to Earth. And some of them die, some of them don't take, and then others get planted as seeds do, and they start to grow into these plants. And it explains that if an animal eats the sapling that comes out, they die instantly of anaphylactic shock. So creepy plants. It's not like an invasion story. It's not like everybody sees these plants growing and starts to panic. It's like a quiet creeping in. They're just quietly sending these seeds down, and they are growing where they land. So we get that sort of set up, and then we switch to following Caroline, who has just given birth to her daughter Anastasia. And in this first section, we get the alien abduction of Anastasia that is talked about on the back of the book. So Anastasia wanders into the woods, comes across one of these plants, and is devoured by the plant, and what comes out after is not Anastasia anymore. Basically, an alien has taken over her body. So that was the end of the first part. Anastasia has returned home, and right away her very first words are, "I'm not Anastasia, I'm an alien," but like people don't take her seriously because she's a 3-year-old who just disappeared in the woods for 3 days and then came home, and she looks exactly the same. So we'll see how this goes. Already loving the writing. Like, Mira Grant knows how to write. I was actually struggling a little bit, so I started this late last night. It was like 12:30, just trying to get a few pages in before falling asleep, and like it was too much for my brain to comprehend. So now that I'm wide awake, I have an open night. I don't have any plans to leave my house. I'm just gonna read all night and get as far as I can in this one. Jan and Gabby are doing reading sprints on Patreon in a little bit, so I'm excited to join that. And yeah, I'm just really excited to have like a night dedicated to reading. I don't prioritize it enough lately, and it's gonna be so fun. So I'm really not happy with my progress today, and I don't know what happened because like I've been reading all day and I just made it to page 100 of Overgrowth. I think it's this book, and I'm really disappointed because I really, really wanted to like this. It is getting better than it was earlier in the night. So I'm in part 2, like I told you earlier. Chapters like 1 and 2 of part 2 were not good. The main character, Anastasia, grows up. We jump forward in time. She's 30 something now, I think like 35. And she's working at this like customer service call center, and she's being bullied by her coworkers, and just like she's a weird person because she's going around and she's telling everybody that she is an alien. She is very forthcoming with this information, and people just think she's crazy. And I mean, she comes all out and she's like, yeah, I'm an alien plant and I can live off of photosynthesis, and one day the aliens are coming to Earth. Like, she is just very direct with this knowledge about herself, and it's causing her to not have very good relationships. Her roommates say they believe her, but I get the sense that they don't really. And chapters 1 and 2 were just annoying me a lot because it was her just repeating over and over again about how mistreated she was and how nobody believes she's an alien. But like, obviously, if some random woman I worked with came up to me and was like, yeah, I'm an alien, I'm not gonna believe her. So then we got into chapter 3, and there has now been like alien contact with Earth, and it's getting more interesting now. We met Anastasia's boyfriend, Graham, and I like him. He's pretty cool. And the scenes where they're together and interacting, she's a lot less annoying. So hopefully the beginning of part 2 was like the end of it, and now things are gonna start getting better. I mean, obviously now if there's proof aliens exist, people are gonna start believing Anastasia now, and she's gonna be less annoying with the like crying about how people don't believe that she's an alien. But my problem is she doesn't remember anything. Like, she doesn't know anything about the aliens. So like, how do you even know you are for sure an alien and it's not just like a dream you had when you were younger? I guess I just wish, if Anastasia is so 100% certain that she is an alien, I wish we had more evidence to back it up. I just need more proof. Like, I know from the synopsis that she is really an alien, but like, I guess I have a lot of book to go, so I'm sure we'll get more information, but it just feels so slow to me right now. I just want to get into it. I just want interactions with the aliens. Right now, it just doesn't feel like a horror book. It just feels like a sad girl lit fit book, but like not even an interesting one. I think I'm gonna keep going. I don't want a DNF. I'm still interested in it because this is a big book and I still have 2 other books I need to finish on top of this to complete Summerween. And the next 2 days for me, Friday and Saturday, are a little busy. So I kind of needed to read more of this today and I just didn't accomplish it. So yeah. Tomorrow, before my plans, I'm just gonna need to get a lot of reading done. So that's the plan. It's already late, it's 12:30, so I should go to bed, but I'm probably gonna stay up a little bit longer and try to read more of this. I was really hoping to get like halfway through or something today, but I will see you in the morning. What are you doing? You hiding? Are you scared? Well, I was gonna give you an update, but Poe will not stop panting. He's okay. It's not that warm. We had the air conditioning on until a second ago. He's just stressed. We just finished up our vet appointment. I got myself a dirty chai latte from Dunkin' this morning because it reminds me of the fall. I tend to only really order these in the fall time, usually with a pump of pumpkin spice syrup, but they don't have it available yet. So now that our vet appointment is over, just a checkup and some shots, our boy is fine. We are going to head home and I'm going to continue listening to the audiobook of the Final Girl Support Group. So last year during Summerween, I threw a little Summerween party / movie night and I got a projector so we could watch a movie outside. I made some spooky drinks and treats and my friends came over and we celebrated Summerween together. And I was actually so surprised that my friends actually enjoyed it and asked if we could do it again this year because like, absolutely. I thought they were just like humoring me because of how I am, but yeah, I think they actually had a lot of fun. So we're doing it again this year. I ordered a pizza that I need to go pick up. I'm definitely being a lot lazier this year. Like last year, you can watch my vlog for it. I made a homemade ghost-shaped pizza and a pumpkin-shaped pizza, and I carved fruit for Summerween. I did like this whole s'mores dip. Yeah, I did not have the energy to do all of that stuff, but we're still gonna have food and drinks, and our movie tonight, we are going to be watching Alien, which is one of my favorites of all time. It is a horror classic, and it is so fitting to the Summerween theme this year, so I'm very, very excited to rewatch it. As for the Final Girl Support Group, I got quite a bit in because I had lots of time to listen to my audiobook while driving around and working today. I am at the 56% mark, still absolutely loving it, but honestly, so surprised. I forgot how sad a part of my battery died mid-sentence, but like I was saying, I honestly forgot how sad a certain part of this was. Like, I was getting a little emotional, but it was also like really, really sweet. And then also, I forgot so much of the plot. I remember the ending and maybe like the ending scene. And I remember all of the girls' backstories and like the horror movies they're based on, but like the plot where we're following Lynette going through and doing these things, I'm like reading a brand new book. I don't know what's gonna happen next. So that's been really, really fun. But part of that I did not remember is how unreliable of a narrator Lynette is. Like, it's really interesting going back to a book that you really, really enjoyed. You remember enjoying it and you feel like, of course I'm gonna remember a book that like I liked that much, but how much you really don't remember. And now just knowing Lynette's character better, seeing things that I missed the first time around has been very interesting and just different than my normal reading experience because I really don't reread like twisty, thrillery books. Other than that, I did read more of Overgrowth last night. I got to page 121, which is better than I thought I was going to be doing. We're gonna try to finish it, but I did not get as much reading done today before my party that I wanted to, and I am still planning on reading the horror for my book to read in the dark. We can figure it out later. Right now, I'm gonna go pick up some pizza and get ready for my Summerween party. Good morning and happy last day of Summerween. We have some things to make up today. I am failing so bad at Summerween this year. And I have a really, really busy day, so I'm not even gonna have a lot of time to read. Okay, here's the game plan. Right now, it is 11:55. I just dropped Dan off at his dentist appointment. I'm running to get coffee and go to the bank. Then I'm swinging back around to pick Dan back up, and then we're going out to a friend's birthday bar crawl. They are doing a Chase the Chicken themed party. I don't know if you guys have seen. I had to look it up on TikTok, but my friend, the birthday boy, is going to be dressed in some way as a chicken. I think he just got a hat with a chicken on it. He is going to go off with a 20-minute head start and hide at a bar, and then the rest of us are split into teams, and we were given a map of the area, and we have to go find our friend. And every incorrect bar we stop at, we're supposed to take a shot. Now that sounds like a lot of day drinking, and I have books to read tonight, so I might volunteer to be the DD and not participate, so we'll see. But maybe it'll just work out and we will find my friend the fastest. While I'm doing my running around, I'm going to be listening to the Final Girl support group. I didn't listen to any more since I talked to you last, so still at the same spot there. I am confident I can finish this today with the audiobook. It really just all depends on how long my friend's birthday celebration goes. And then other than that, I have officially decided that I'm gonna put a hold on Overgrowth for now. I am just not in the mood to read it. I did wake up early this morning before I had to get ready and stuff, and I was reading it, and we met another character, this scientist woman named Tony. She is the most insufferable, obnoxious character I have ever had to read from, and like that's coming from this main character was already annoying me. So I don't want to hard DNF it because like I still want to give it a chance. I still want to love it, but I'm also not going to force myself to fly through it today. I still have like 300 to 400 pages left, and that does not sound enjoyable. So I'm probably going to wait until the audiobook's available or just like take my time reading it. But yeah, unfortunately that will not be getting finished this Summerween. I just can't do it. I'm not enjoying it enough to fly through it today. I am home now, obviously. It is a lot later. It is currently 9:30. So we are closing in on the last few hours of Summerween, and we still have one more book to finish. But before we get into that, I did need to talk to you about the Final Girl support group by Grady Hendrix, because I did finish this. So recap to earlier, I went on my friend's birthday bar crawl, and it was very, very fun. But oh my God, was it hot. It was 90 degrees out, and we were walking around outside in the bright, bright sunlight, barely any shade. I wanted to die halfway through, but we made it. We found him after going to, I want to say like 5 bars. It actually ended up being a much smaller turnout than originally planned. So there were 5 of us plus the chicken being number 6. So the 5 of us actually stuck together and like went to all the bars together instead of splitting up into teams. And then instead of all 5 of us taking a shot or drinking a drink at every bar, because we were trying to be responsible, somebody needed to drive us home, we switched on and off. So half of us would get to drink at one bar, the other half at the second, so on and so forth. So over the course of 4 hours, I think I had like 3 drinks total, plus a ton of water. So yeah, I was feeling okay and totally fine to get home and keep reading after I took a nap because I was exhausted and a very, very cold shower. It helped at the time, but now I am back to just sweating to death. It is so hot. I'm so sick of this heat wave. But when I wasn't sleeping today, I was finishing up the audiobook of this. I spent some time outside reading, and I did it. I finished my reread, and I think I'm going to keep it with a 5-star rating. That's what I rated it the first time, and I don't feel like changing it. I don't want to be like, I didn't like it as much as the first time, because I don't think that's true. But I think knowing the reveal at the end, like, obviously, it takes a little bit of enjoyment out of it because I knew what was coming. But I was still surprised a lot throughout this book. There was a lot that I did not remember. So that was very nice to revisit it. And just like, I love being in the mind of Grady Hendrix. You can tell he knows his horror movies. He knows his slashers, and like, he's the biggest nerd about it. And I really enjoy just reading somebody's words that is such an expert on this kind of stuff that I'm interested in. And just the way he took inspiration from like horror movie slashers and the final girls we know and love and rewrote their stories. And yeah, my only like complaint, the thing I didn't really enjoy this time around, is I could not stand our main character. And I think she's supposed to be written that way. Like, she's unreliable, she's unlikable, but it was really sticking out to me this time. So yeah, that's this one. I am super excited to talk to my horror movie club friends at work about it, and I hope they all loved it. But now, the sun has gone down. It is dark out, and it is time to turn off all of the lights and read a scary story. I'm going to be starting The Har by David Sodergren on my Kindle, and I'm not really confident I'll be able to finish the entire thing before midnight. It's about 200 pages, I think. I haven't officially checked, but I think it's around there. And we have about 2.5 hours, so I would have to read very fast, which, like, maybe it's possible. But I'm just going to be happy to read as much as I can before falling asleep. And then if I have to finish it tomorrow, we can do that. I think it's okay because I technically completed all of the prompts with other books I read this week. But I do still really want to start this one at least. And then hopefully be able to give you guys my final thoughts on it. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to make it all dark in here and we're going to get started. Oh my god, guys, I did it again. I accidentally recorded the rest of this video in slow motion. I am so mad at myself. I even checked while I was filming the outro because I always have that fear that I'm accidentally recording in slow motion. And the thing that I do to check apparently doesn't work anymore because I was certain that I was not in slow motion. And here we are. So on top of having to speed everything up, I also have no audio for these clips. So I am sorry, you're gonna just get a voiceover for the rest of this video. During this check-in, I was coming in to tell you that I was at about the 25% mark of the book so far, and I was already really enjoying it. I kind of just gave an overview of what it was about so far. So in this one, we are following an elderly woman named Muriel, and she lives in this tiny little Scottish fishing village in her little cottage that she's lived in forever. And she loves her little house and her little community, and she doesn't want anything to change. That's until this rich developer guy named Grant shows up and starts buying all of these cottages within this seaside village because he wants to turn this into his own personal golf course. So Muriel isn't going to just give up her home for this guy. Even though he is offering a ton of money, she is standing by that this is her house and she is going to die in it. So while some of her neighbors do start selling off her properties, there is a big group of them that are really against this. They don't want their little village turned into a golf course. They live there, they like it there. So they're all coming together to try and protest this and fight back, but this rich guy is going to any lengths necessary to get what he wants, including sending his son to physically assault Muriel and leave her on the side of the beach with broken ribs. So the part I just left off at, Muriel was finally able to get up and begin her long walk home, and she comes across this creature on the side of the road. It's kind of described as like a blob of like jelly-like substance. I'm kind of picturing like a jellyfish. And when Muriel touches it, it heals her. She is instantly without any pain at all, despite just being attacked by this man. So she decides she's going to take the blob home with her. Hello, once again, editing voiceover Alexis is back to wrap this thing up. As you can see me freaking out on the screen, I absolutely love the horror. 5 stars. Oh my god, I am so excited to read more from this author. This book was just incredible. It was everything I hoped it would be. I know the general consensus is that this is a good book, but like I always get worried that I'm putting too high of expectations on it, but like this one deserves the hype. This was incredible. The gore and body horror in this was my absolute favorite part. That is usually my favorite part of horror books, but this really, really did it for me. It was just so creative and kept having me like out loud gasping and saying what the fuck, because it was just so shocking, and I love when horror can do that. I feel like I've read so much of it. When something can surprise me and get this reaction out of me, instant 5 stars, 6 stars. Honestly, I really, really loved Muriel as a character. And yes, I was picturing the owner from Courage the Cowardly Dog the entire time. But going into it, I wasn't expecting it to have like such a heartfelt message as it did. It was more than just a horror story. It was really a story about an old woman who missed her husband and who didn't want to give up their home together. And it was really, really sweet. And it also did one of my favorite things in horror, where a person who has been wronged is able to get revenge, and I fucking love that. I'm so blown away and impressed by David Sodergren's writing. I cannot wait to read more from him. I also realized that this means I had all 5 stars for Summerween. Like, are you kidding? I could not have had a better week. I'm so sad it's over now, but it really is just the start of spooky season for me. I will now be in the Halloween spirit until November, if I'm ever really out of the Halloween spirit, because honestly, I live every day like it's Halloween. But super excited for next year and super excited to hopefully celebrate Winterween next. If you guys participated in Summerween this year, please let me know what your favorite book was. And if you would like to leave me an emoji in a comment, I think I'm just gonna go super basic and we're going to do the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern guy for our emoji of the video. As always, friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope you read a spooky book today, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.